Now we will study the close packing in 3 dimension. Three dimension. Close packing in 3 dimension means a 3D close packing. Okay, this means it is applicable for which type of structures? The real structures. See, now I say this structure, this means it is a 3-dimensional close packing structure. Yes. Now what we have to see is, again in 3-dimensional close packing we have 2 types. One is using 2-dimensional square close packing, one more is using 2-dimensional hexagonal close packing. You understand the difference now, isn't it? Square close packing, where one layer was exactly stacked below the other one, or the first layer was exactly same as that of the second one. Whereas hexagonal close packing means in 2-dimensional, the first layer, and in the depression of the first layer, these layers were placed. This was a layer, and in its depression means here the atoms were arranged like this. Now we will see in this close packing in 3 dimension, what do we see? One type of close packing is close packing, 3-dimensional close packing using 2-dimensional square close packing. 2-dimensional square close packing. That means how 3-dimensional close packing is done? Using 2-dimensional square close packing. See, for the convenience, I have just drawn the diagram this way. It might not be clear to you. I'll just try to make it clear. Here what we do is, in 2-dimensional square close packing, what we do, isn't it? The layer, one layer of A type, second layer is also of A type, which is placed exactly below the other this way. Now 3-dimensional close packing means these kind of layers are taken, and for that 3-dimensionally in all the 3 sides, along all the 3 axes, the arrangement will be done. Packing will be done. If this is one layer, then this is another exact layer. Again, front, back, right, left, all up, down, everywhere, the same type of layers are arranged. So the arrangement may look similar to this. Here you can see the atoms. See here, this is one atom, one layer of atom. Exactly same layer of atom is placed below it. This is of square close packing. Are you getting it? Square close packing. Now if you join this, see, these are all the atoms of square close packing. If you check out the coordination number, if you consider one atom, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the coordination number. This is square close packing. Now what happens if it is 3-dimensionally arranged? 2-dimensional square close packing structure, if it is arranged 3-dimensionally, then the resulting one will be, see, I am joining the centers of the cubes, the spheres here. If I join the spheres, you will get some structure similar to this. I had already drawn here, so I'm just trying to highlight it to you and show. See, what do you get here? Here we get a simple cube. The unit cell formed will be a simple cube. Will be generated, or primitive cube will be generated. The crystal lattice which we get will be cubic crystal lattice. A simple cubic crystal lattice we will get in 3-dimensional close packing using 2-dimensional square close packing. Now which is the second way? Second way is using two-dimensional hexagonal close packing. Now that is what we have to see. Now here this is about it. It's also called, so the lattice is also called, this is a whole lattice, isn't it? This is a cube that I have shown here. This is a whole lattice, and this whole lattice is called as AAA type pattern lattice. AAA type pattern lattice. Hope it is clear to you. We will move on to the next type of packing. Next type of packing is three-dimensional close packing using two-dimensional hexagonal close packing. HCP means hexagonal close packing. Yes. Now let us see, in hexagonal close packing, what did we observe? We saw that there are atoms this way arranged, one layer which is of A type, and in the depression of it, the second layer is different because in the depressions means the space here between the two spheres, in the depressions, okay, if you want that term, depressions. In the depressions, here the other spheres are placed. Spheres are placed. Again, next one, in the depression of this, like this. Okay. Now you see here, I had to explain this in the previous one, but that applies here, and so I thought I will explain it here. You see that here there are empty spaces. I have again told you, I have compared it there itself, that in two-dimensional square close packing, the empty spaces are more, whereas in three-dimensional, that is two-dimensional hexagonal close packing, the empty spaces are less comparatively. Here the empty spaces you see, how do you see this? It is of a triangular shape, isn't it? Triangular shape where the apex you know, where the top of the triangle is facing upwards here in the first row. Between first and second row, the empty spaces, the vacant spaces is like this. Now you see one more here between the second and third layer. If you see, the empty spaces are this way, where the apex is facing downwards. The empty spaces are this way, where the apex is facing downwards. Triangle apex. Did you understand? I'm telling this. See, in a triangle, this is called apex. So here apex you see upwards, it is all pointing, and here the apex is pointing downwards. And do you know it is of a triangular shape, isn't it? The empty spaces are also called as voids. What are they called as? Make a note. Empty spaces are called as voids. VOIDS are called as voids. Now this empty space which we have is of triangular shape in two-dimensional. I'm speaking about two-dimensional HCP. I'll speak about three-dimensional. In two-dimensional HCP, the triangular shape empty spaces which is present are called as triangular voids. What are they called as? Triangular voids. Triangular shape empty spaces in two-dimensional HCP is called as triangular voids. Now what is our intention? Why are we close packing, or why how do the solids try to close pack itself? That is, the atoms or molecules or ions, they try to undergo close packing in such a way that the empty spaces are minimum. They want empty spaces, minimum empty space, whereas maximum molecules wants to be covered or closely packed. Yeah. Now in three-dimensional arrangement, what happens is we take this layer or this kind of layer where I have already told you that in the depressions, now if this is two atoms, if these are two atoms, then in the depression of this one atom, next again between the two other atoms, one more depression. So like that, the layers gets arranged like this with minimum space. If you observe it, you can see a triangular shaped space in between. Whereas if you arrange it this way, the maximum space you can see. Okay, whereas in the previous one. Now in hexagonal three-dimensional close packing, what happens, the molecules or atoms or spheres tries to occupy those, pack up those voids or tries to cover up those voids. So here there is triangular voids, no? So the new molecule tries to occupy that position and it tries to cover up these voids. So the new layer that has been covering will try to occupy or try to cover those spaces. Now again, how the next layer is arranged? Next layer is arranged such that in the depression, one more layer has to come, isn't it? One more layer comes here in the depression. Like that it continues. Are you understanding? Now again here layers will be arranged this way. Now during this arrangement, what you see is here you see pointing downwards and here again upwards, these. Okay, the one which points upwards here, now how you imagine this, a part of this much. Okay, hope I'm not confusing you. This part you consider. See, already there are three layers below, like this. See, two layers above and one below. Two layers above and one below, like this. And over this, now this has formed a layer this way. Now over this is like this, isn't it? Over this, in the center, now from above, we have placed one more sphere. So that sphere, if I keep it this way, see, this was a layer, and over that, one more sphere has been placed. How does it look like? Now the triangular void has been covered, but a new void will be formed there. Why a new void, See the spheres, here three spheres are there. To cover this particular void, the empty space, one more sphere was placed. Now the shape is like that of tetrahedron, and inside there is one more space now formed, and that space, that void is called as tetrahedral void. What is it called? Tetrahedral void. I'll just try to write it here. Hope you're getting the point. Now it is like this. The spheres were like this. One more sphere has been placed above to cover this triangular void like this. Now it is similar to a prism kind of. Understood? A prism kind of thing, like this. Two spheres, three spheres below and one sphere above. Their occurs one more void in between, which we call as tetrahedral void. Which we call as tetrahedral void. Now here a void forms which is called tetrahedral void. Tetrahedral void. See, here two types of voids will be formed. One is called as octahedral void and the other one is called as tetrahedral void. Please do listen. Here this which is formed by four spheres, 1, 2, 3 and fourth one. Again 1, 2, 3 and fourth one. 1, 2, 3 and fourth one. These voids are called as tetrahedral voids. These are all tetrahedral voids. And you have seen a triangle facing downwards here. Downwards. Even this one. Here these voids, it is made up of 6 spheres. You know how 6 spheres? 3 are below. 3 are below. And 3 spheres. Here 3 green means these 3 spheres here. 1, 2, 3. And these 3 spheres here this way. See, they are arranged like this. One above the other, the layer. Okay. 3 above, 3 below. So total 6 spheres. And between this there forms a void. And that void is called as octahedral void. What is this void called as? O means octahedral void it is called as. Okay. Again here tetrahedral void. Sorry, not here. Here tetrahedral void. And the triangle facing downwards will constitute of 6 spheres, which is octahedral void. I'll erase this. So what you need to understand, 2 types of voids are tetrahedral void and octahedral void. What are tetrahedral voids? Tetrahedral voids are formed by 4 spheres. Voids formed from 4 spheres. Understand here 1, 2, 3 and the fourth one. Whereas octahedral void, it is formed this way. 1, 2, 3 already it was there, isn't it? Above that again 1, 2, 3. So in between a void will be formed, isn't it? That is called as octahedral void. So void formed from how many spheres? 6 spheres. It is called as octahedral void. Very important. Remember this tetrahedral void and octahedral void. I know this diagram seems to be complicated to you. Go through your textbook. If you there's a simplified example given, the diagram given. So hope if you understand the concept here, when you look at the textbook, you can really understand what actually I am explaining. If you have understood here, it's well and good. If not, please do follow it. Since why it is called as tetrahedral void is because the shape will be similar to that of tetrahedron. And why it is called as octahedral void is because the using 6 spheres, the void has been formed, which when joined it looks like octahedron, and that is why it is called as octahedral void. The geometrical shape seems to be like that. Therefore octahedral void formed from 6 spheres, tetrahedral void formed by 4 spheres. And then we will have to see how many number of voids will be formed. How many number of tetrahedral voids, how many number of octahedral voids will be formed is what we need to understand. That I will be explaining now. Now there is possibility that